Howdy folks, thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all doing okay today. So, have a little news. 2 of my kids for sure have COVID. 2 of one of our pastor's kids for sure have COVID. Mine are 6 and 10. His are like 3 and a year old, I think. Don't know for sure where they got it from. My wife and I were up at work right around the end of the shift, get a phone call from the school that the kids have COVID, or one of the kids out of my group of kids have COVID symptoms and was in the nurse's office complaining about not feeling too great. So the nurse called and said, hey, if you consent, I'll go ahead and give him a COVID test and find out what's what. I said, okay, go ahead and just call me back with the results. And she's like, well, you can... She called back a few minutes later. He did have COVID. Managed to make arrangements to go ahead and get him picked up by a grandparent. And turns out my youngest daughter, who's 6, had it. And my older 2 teenagers, they ended up getting sent home as well because, siblings, close contact, all that stuff. This actually happened at about the perfect time for me. The factory that I work at is experiencing a 1-week layoff for day shift. That's me. Due to part shortages, so we're off work, and so I get to spend basically the entire quarantine off work with my kids. And one of the things that just worked out good, didn't have to worry about, taking off work and drawing unemployment specifically for COVID reasons and company policy and all that. I can just, show up to work like, hello, I'm kind of driving in front of you, coming to a red light. Life is kind of normal with the exception of we can't go anywhere, do anything really. I'm out of the house practicing contactless things, so life is kind of good on that front. ClickList or whatever the apps are. I just had to go do a little bit of running for my wife and my mother. But I got to tell you something that was funny that happened. So this would have been, Thursday afternoon that we find out everything. Get home, kids are home from school, and my son, who had COVID symptoms apparently and did get sent to the nurse's office, is in the living room. My wife and I, we work a very manual job where constantly moving and doing, and so when we get home, we might play with the kids a little bit, but it's kind of sit down, unwind, relax. And I'll be honest, I get slightly irritable if the noise level is too loud in the house when the kids are playing and I'm trying to unwind a little bit, especially after a long day being in that loud factory. So we're, just kind of chill in the living room, watching a little TV, and my son is doing the absolute best impression, unintentionally, of the Tasmanian Devil cartoon off Looney Tunes that I've ever seen. He is spinning and gripping and running and making all sorts of racket. And I comment, I'm like, boy, you must have really felt sick. He goes, I did, I feel better. So whatever, I don't, the data proves that COVID doesn't affect kids in a big way, especially the newer Omicron variant. My youngest daughter, who has it, she turns out was like just normal, give him some Tamiflu and let him sleep a little bit sick. About a week and a half ago, she was coughing up a little bit of stuff, and she was napping a little bit through the day, which she is old enough that she doesn't do. It's just not her thing. She likes to snuggle. It's very rare that you can get her to take a nap during the day. But she took several naps on the couch while she was sick, and she, was just regular sick. And then turns around, she's got it, so she was like just getting over the flu, and then she has COVID, so she's taking it a little harder. I mean, they're still up and playing and doing. She's got her dolls, her stuffed animals. She's still playing and doing her thing and doing little voices for all of them. So the only thing that kind of stinks is that is the worst kid as far as social distancing goes. Because she's always, I want to hug, I want to snuggle, I want to sit in your lap, I want to hug and snuggle, sit in your lap. Those are her 3 things. The other thing is she wants to get in bed with you. So like 7 in the morning, if you're sleeping in on a Saturday, she wants to wake up, get in bed with you, and either get on your phone and watch cute YouTube videos, or turn around and go right back to sleep. So, and then kick you out of the bed. So, the likelihood that my wife and I are at least exposed to this right now is pretty high. We're both vaccinated, so I'm not particularly worried about it. The only person I'm worried about is my mother that lives with us, who is vaccinated, but she's 60, she'll be 65 this year. So, but, what can you do? My kids have COVID. Perfect week for me to be laid off work, so I'm going to try to do some things that don't necessarily involve getting around people, but I do want to try to get them out of the house a little bit, just because I know they're going to be stir crazy. Even if it's just going on a car ride, listening to the radio. I'm going to try to do a movie night with them one night, things like that, just to break up the monotony of being stuck in the house and doing schoolwork on a computer. So, thanks for tuning in. Catch y'all next time.